I walked in, dust on my jacket, exhaustion in my bones. She looked up from behind the counter and said, "You look like you've been running from something." "Maybe I am," I replied. "Coffee's on the house for people running from ghosts," she said with a wink. That's how it started, with coffee, curiosity, and two tired hearts pretending they weren't lonely. For the first time in years, I didn't check my phone. I didn't care about deals or deadlines. I just listened to her talk about small towns, big skies, and dreams she'd never chased. And when I left that night, I found myself wanting to turn back. 3 days later, I did. I told myself I was passing through, but I parked in the same spot, under the same flickering light. She smiled like she'd been waiting. "You came back," she said. "I never left," I answered, though I hadn't meant to say it aloud. We started talking again, about everything and nothing. She told me her name was Harper. I told her mine was Daniel. She told me she'd grown up in that town but her heart belonged to the open road. I told her I'd spent my life on the road but never found anywhere that felt like home. Funny, how opposites fit perfectly when they stop trying to make sense. A week later, I asked her to come with me. "Just for a while," I said. She hesitated. "And then what?" "Then we'll figure it out," I promised. She climbed in, hair whipping in the wind, a map folded in her lap like a story waiting to be written. We drove for days, through the deserts of New Mexico, the golden hills of California, the wide open plains that looked like forever. We sang to old songs on the radio, stopped for gas station food, and made wishes at roadside motels. Somewhere between laughter and silence, I realized I'd fallen for her, quietly, completely, without a single plan. But love, real love, doesn't come without ghosts. One night in a small motel outside Nashville, she told me the truth. "I was married once," she said, eyes fixed on the ceiling. "He left when things got hard." I reached for her hand. Then maybe he wasn't built for forever. She turned to me, tears catching the moonlight. "What if neither are we?" I wanted to tell her that forever didn't matter, that sometimes, the right now is enough. But I just held her. Because some promises don't need words. We made it to New York in the fall. The city lights swallowed us whole. I started working again, meetings, suits, long hours. She tried to keep up, but I saw it in her eyes, the restlessness, the way she missed the open road. "One night," she said softly, "you found your world again. Maybe it's time I find mine." I stood there, speechless, as she kissed me goodbye in the middle of a city that never sleeps. That's the thing about real love. Sometimes it's not about holding on, but letting go before it turns into something smaller than what it was meant to be. A year passed. I thought of her every time I saw a diner light flicker on a highway. Then one day, business took me back south. Same route. Same town. Same neon sign. I walked in, heart pounding. She was there, older, stronger, and still the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. She looked up, recognition flooding her eyes. "You again," she said, smiling through tears. "Guess I never stopped running," I whispered. She poured me a cup of coffee. "Then maybe it's time to stop." And this time, I did. Because sometimes, love doesn't look like fireworks. Sometimes it's just two people finding their way back to the same place, and realizing that home isn't a location. It's a person.